That one bedroom in your house is not hot because of your air conditioner. It is hot because you have a giant open chimney in your hallway ceiling. An $18 zippered seal fixes it. Here is exactly how it works and why your air conditioning guy never mentioned it. If you have a bedroom or hallway upstairs that constantly feels like a sauna, you know exactly how frustrating it is. You turn down the thermostat, and you can hear the air conditioner blowing hard. The downstairs gets colder and colder, but that one upstairs room remains unbearable. You feel like you are throwing money away on electricity bills every month. You start to think your air conditioning system is broken or too small for your house, but the system is usually doing its job. The air conditioner is cooling the air. The problem is that the cold air is not staying where you want it, and the heat is entering your living space faster than your system can remove it. The real problem is that you have a massive, invisible hole in your ceiling. That hole is your attic hatch. Whether you have pull-down attic stairs or a simple drywall scuttle hole, that panel is a thermal disaster. Traditional attic insulation is meant to protect your ceiling, but the attic hatch is almost always left completely bare. It is a thin sheet of wood or drywall. That panel has an insulation value of less than R1, while the surrounding ceiling has R30 or higher. It acts as an open gate in your home's thermal defense. Heat does not just slow down when it hits your hatch, it pours through it without resistance. When a building inspector does a thermal scan of a house, the attic hatch glows like a beacon of red-hot energy. It is often the single largest thermal bypass in the entire building envelope, yet it sits right above your main hallway. In the summer, your roof shingles absorb solar radiation and heat your attic to over 140 degrees. This extreme heat creates a powerful pressure boundary right above your head. Because the air inside your living space is cool and dense, and the attic air is superheated and light, a continuous pressure loop is created. This is known as the stack effect, and in the summer, it can actually reverse. The superheated, dusty attic air is pushed down through every tiny gap around your unsealed hatch. This is not just a passive transfer of temperature. It is a mechanical movement of hot air under pressure. It forces its way into your air-conditioned hallway and bedrooms. This convective loop acts like an air pump. It constantly injects high humidity and microscopic fiberglass particles into your living space, forcing your air conditioner to run longer just to dehumidify the air. Even if you cannot feel a physical breeze, that bare attic hatch is constantly transferring heat into your home through conduction. The hot attic air bakes the top of the wood panel. The wood panel absorbs that heat and radiates it straight down into your hallway or bedroom below. It behaves exactly like a space heater mounted to your ceiling, running 24 hours a day. Your air conditioner has to fight this constant, concentrated stream of heat coming from the worst possible place. You are paying to cool your home, but your attic hatch is acting like a radiator working against your air conditioner. It is a constant battle, and your wallet is the casualty. This radiant heat warms up the air, the walls, and the carpet in that hallway. This makes the entire second floor feel stifling, even if the thermostat says the temperature is normal. It is the radiant temperature that makes you feel hot, not just the air temperature. But before you buy or install this cheap fix, there is one critical air sealing rule about your hatch's trim border that determines whether this drops your room's temperature by 10 degrees or does absolutely nothing. I will show you exactly how this pressure dynamic works in just a minute. It is the single biggest mistake homeowners make, and it is why many people think simple ceiling fixes do not work. Knowing how to stop this bypass is the difference between a cool bedroom and a waste of money. If you get the installation wrong, you will still have hot air leaking into your home, and you will have wasted your $18. Now here's the part that almost nobody explains. When we think about insulating a house, we focus on the thickness of the fluffy material. We buy bags of fiberglass or cellulose. We blow it into the attic until it is deep. But we completely ignore the attic access door. This is a massive gap in the thermal blanket. If you leave a 2-foot by 4-foot hole in your insulation, it degrades the efficiency of the entire attic floor by up to 30%. It is like wearing a heavy winter coat but leaving it completely unzipped in a blizzard. No matter how much insulation you have on the rest of the floor, the heat will find that weak point and flood your home. This is why adding more insulation to your attic floor often fails to solve comfort issues. You are ignoring the open thermal gateway. The fix is an attic door insulated zippered cover. This is a specialized tent built from double-layer aluminum foil bubble insulation. You can buy one on Amazon or at Home Depot for about $18. Physically, it consists of 2 layers of highly reflective aluminum foil sandwiched around a core of polyethylene air bubbles. It acts as both a radiant barrier and a convective air seal. It blocks 97% of radiant heat while completely stopping hot attic air from leaking through the seams of your stairs. It is lightweight, durable, and creates an airtight cap over the entire staircase assembly. The zippers allow for easy access, and the heavy-duty bubble core ensures that the cover maintains its shape over years of use without sagging or collapsing into the opening. The physical mechanism here is incredibly elegant. The pure aluminum surfaces have an emissivity of just 0.03. This means they emit almost no radiant heat downward. The air bubble core provides a thermal break that slows down conductive heat transfer. The tiny pockets of air trapped inside the bubbles have very low thermal conductivity, meaning heat cannot easily pass from the hot top layer to the cooler bottom layer. This combination gives the cover a thermal resistance value of roughly R14.5. When you install this cover over your pull-down stairs, you are effectively closing the giant hole in your attic insulation blanket. You are restoring the continuous thermal barrier that your home was designed to have, keeping the heat in the attic where it belongs, and preventing it from ever touching your ceiling drywall. To install this, you will need a heavy-duty staple gun, some half-inch staples, and a bottle of silicone caulk. Before you climb into the attic, make sure you put on a proper P100 respirator, protective eyewear, and long sleeves. Attic spaces are full of loose fiberglass dust and chemical fire retardants that you do not want to breathe. Work during the early morning, hours when the attic is at its coolest. Never step off the wooden joists, or you will fall straight through your drywall ceiling. Always maintain 3 points of contact on your ladder, and have a flashlight handy to illuminate the work area. Bring a piece of plywood up with you to act as a temporary platform so you can stand comfortably while you work on the wooden framing. Climb up your attic stairs and locate the wooden frame that surrounds the rough opening. Take the insulated zippered cover and place it over the opening. The lower lip of the cover is designed to sit flat on the wooden framing. Start by stapling the 4 corners to hold the cover in place. Then, run a staple every 2 to 3 inches along the entire perimeter. Make sure you pull the fabric tight as you go to ensure a snug fit and prevent air gaps. The staples must penetrate the wood deeply to ensure that the tent remains secure under pressure. For the ultimate air seal, you must address the gap between the cover's lip and the wooden frame. This is where your caulk comes in. Run a bead of high-quality silicone caulk or heavy-duty foil tape along the outer edge of the stapled lip. This seals the microscopic cracks where hot air can still bypass. The cover features a heavy-duty zipper down the middle. This allows you to easily unzip the tent whenever you need to climb into the attic and zip it shut when you leave. The zipper must be aligned properly during installation so that it operates smoothly without binding or tearing the foil material. To put this into perspective, energy experts measure home air leakage using a diagnostic tool called a blower door test. They mount a powerful fan to an exterior door frame and depressurize the house to 50 pascals. This test reveals exactly how many air changes per hour your home experiences. A typical unsealed attic hatch leaks as much air as leaving a double-hung window open several inches. During a blower door test, you can stand under an unsealed attic hatch and literally feel the air rushing past like a mini tornado. By installing a zippered cover and sealing it with caulk, you can instantly drop your home's overall leakage rate by several hundred cubic feet per minute. This directly translates to lower utility bills and a more stable indoor climate. But before you zip it up and call the job finished, there is a second adjustment that most people completely miss. This is the secret that takes the fix from good to excellent. Even with the foil tent installed, the wood panel of your attic hatch still rests against the trim from the inside of your home. If that trim is not sealed, room air can still escape. You need to apply self-adhesive foam weather stripping tape to the ledge where the hatch panel rests. This creates a dual barrier system that tackles heat transfer from both the top and the bottom of the opening. When the hatch closes, the weight of the wood panel compresses the foam tape. This creates a secondary airtight gasket at the bottom of the opening. It stops the remaining convective draft. If your pull-down stairs do not pull up tightly, the seal will be compromised. You can install a simple sash lock or a hook and eye latch on the ceiling. This physically pulls the wood panel up tight against the weather stripping, ensuring total compression and complete draft elimination. By mechanically compressing the panel, you eliminate any potential gaps caused by warped wood or loose stair springs. It is important to understand the honest limitations of this fix. An $18 attic hatch seal is incredibly effective, but it is not a magic solution for every home comfort issue. If your attic hatch is located in an unconditioned garage, sealing it will not cool your living space. If the hottest room in your house has massive west-facing windows with no shades, or completely uninsulated exterior walls, this ceiling seal will not solve the entire problem. You must look at your home as a complete thermal system. This fix stops attic heat, but it cannot fix issues caused by unshaded glass or missing wall insulation. Furthermore, if your attic itself has zero ventilation, meaning your soffit and ridge vents are completely blocked, the attic temperature can climb past 160 degrees. In that case, even a sealed hatch will eventually warm up, and you must address the ventilation issues before the seal can perform optimally. If you want to verify whether your attic hatch is leaking right now, you do not need expensive diagnostic equipment. You can perform a simple smoke test on a hot afternoon. Light a stick of incense or a candle and hold it near the seams of your closed attic hatch. If the smoke is pulled rapidly into the seam or blown downward away from the crack, you are witnessing active air leakage in real time. Another simple test is to touch the drywall ceiling next to the hatch, and then touch the hatch panel itself. If the hatch panel feels noticeably hotter to the touch than the surrounding drywall, it is acting as a thermal bridge. These quick tests are foolproof ways to prove that your ceiling opening is actively undermining your comfort and heating up your living space. The $18 DIY zippered cover provides about 90% of the benefit of professional solutions. However, there are more expensive options available. A professional contractor might install a pre-built insulated attic door system, like the EZ hatch locking door. These systems cost over $400 for the unit alone, plus several $100s for labor. They offer a higher thermal resistance of R50 and heavy-duty mechanical latches. For most homeowners, the cheap foil tent is more than enough. It delivers the vast majority of the savings and comfort for a tiny fraction of the cost. You might wonder why your HVAC technician has never suggested this simple fix during a service call. The reason is not a conspiracy. It comes down to business structures and training models. HVAC contractors are licensed mechanical specialists. Their business is built on selling, installing, and servicing complex refrigeration equipment. They focus on compressor motors, copper refrigerant lines, fan speeds, and electronic controls. They do not specialize in basic carpentry or building envelope air sealing. They look at your home comfort problems through the lens of mechanical capacity. If your house is hot, their immediate solution is to sell you a larger, more powerful machine that can force more cold air into the space. They are trained in refrigeration cycles, not the physics of drywall joints and air leakage. There is also a clear financial reality. A service company cannot survive by driving to your house to install an $18 foil cover. The overhead costs of the truck, fuel, insurance, and technician labor mean they must focus on high-ticket service calls. They would rather quote you $4,000 for a duct replacement, a larger air conditioner, or a multi-zone damper system. These mechanical solutions are expensive and often unnecessary when the root cause is a simple ceiling bypass. Their business model requires large transactions to cover their overhead and generate profit. An $18 DIY fix that takes 15 minutes simply does not fit into a corporate sales quota. Many franchise HVAC companies even train their technicians as comfort advisors, which is a polite term for a commission-paid salesperson. These salespeople are incentivized to find expensive mechanical problems rather than simple thermal ones. Furthermore, traditional HVAC training programs do not teach building science or air sealing techniques. They teach technicians how to diagnose mechanical failures in your equipment. If a room is hot, their instinct is to add more conditioned air. They want to increase the fan speed or run a larger duct. But adding more air to a leaky room is like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. You must plug the hole first, and that is what the attic hatch cover does. It is a structural fix, not a mechanical one, which is why it falls outside their trade. By understanding this boundary, you can stop paying for expensive equipment upgrades when a simple physical barrier is what your house actually needs. You are taking control of your home comfort by addressing the real laws of physics. Once you have sealed your attic hatch, you can compound your energy savings by addressing other ceiling leaks. Recessed light fixtures are another major source of convective heat transfer. If you look at your ceiling, those canisters have gaps around the trim. You can buy pre-made, airtight, fire-rated covers that drop over the light fixtures from inside the attic. Sealing these fixtures, along with your attic hatch, will completely isolate your living space from the superheated attic air. This prevents the chimney effect from pulling your expensive cooled air straight out of your living space. By taking 15 minutes to seal your attic door, you will notice an immediate difference in the temperature of that hottest room. The heavy, stagnant heat in your hallway will vanish. Your air conditioner will cycle off more frequently because it no longer has to fight a 140-degree radiator in your ceiling. Your monthly utility bills will drop, and your family will finally be comfortable. It is a simple, low-cost victory that proves you do not always need expensive mechanical solutions. You just need to understand the physics of your house and apply simple, direct fixes. Tell me in the comments if you have an uninsulated attic hatch in your hallway and whether your AC system has been struggling to keep that nearby bedroom cool. I read every single comment, and I already know what most of the answers are going to look like. If this gave you something real, something you can install yourself for $18, please hit that like button. It helps more than you know. And subscribe if you want to keep getting honest, practical information about your home without the markup. Thank you for watching. Stay comfortable, and I will see you in the next one.